Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dedan Tolbert, host of the Dedan Tolbert Show that airs weeknights at 9 o'clock at dedansplace.net. And on the show, I often get asked by women from all around the world, why did my man do this? I'm dating this guy, and why is he behaving like this? And one of the problems is that women are not focusing on the importance of knowing the three stages that all men go through. Those stages are the dog stage, the player stage, and the ready to settle down stage. I cannot stress how important it is to understand the behaviors, the qualities, the characteristics of dealing with a man who's in those stages. Because if you have a man, all right, in the dog stage, you're not going to be able to make him your boyfriend. You're not going to be able to make him your husband. And if you try to, it's going to have a negative result. So in this blog, I'm going to talk about the behaviors that can be found in each one of those stages. Now, I want to start off with the dog stage. Ladies, the dog stage is one of those things where, you know, you usually, not always, but usually it happens between the ages of 18 and 25, where these men are just really feeling themselves. They're having fun. They're not even thinking about a girlfriend. They're not thinking about settling down. They're thinking about having sex. They want to impress their friends. They want to, in the dog stage, ladies, be clear, is where a lot of men develop the type of stories and the type of experiences that allow them later on in life to be in the ready to settle down stage. Because if a man does not go through the dog stage, he can't truly appreciate what it's like to have sex with a supermodel, to have a threesome with three bad women. Actually, that wouldn't even be a threesome, but you get my point. You know what I mean? You have to be, as a man, we have to go through that stage to get it out of our system, if you will. So a lot of men go through that stage. It's called the dog stage. They're liars a lot of times in the dog stage. They're manipulators. They are just willing to say and do whatever just to get sex from you. And understand they are out there. So I don't want you guys to think we play the blame game on the show or any of that type of stuff. One of the things I do is call it like I see it. A lot of men out here are in the dog stage. Those are the liars, the dogs, the cheaters, the whores, the male whores. So that's the dog stage, ladies. And if you meet a man in the dog stage, you may have to dig a little deeper because dogs or men in the dog stage do not look like dogs. They're the well-dressed guys. They still are articulate. A lot of them have been to college. They drive nice cars. You might mistake, and it's very easy to mistake a man in the dog stage for being in the ready to settle down stage just because of the way he presents himself to you. So the qualities or the way to look at and identify a man in the dog stage would be to watch his actions. You cannot believe what he says. You can only believe what you see from him. Meaning, and in the book, What Women Need to Know, I go in detail about how to find a man or how to recognize a man in the dog stage. So don't get caught up in trying, oh, how do I know? How do I know? Get your copy of the book right now at dedansplace.net. The second stage that's so important to understand about men and what we go through is the player stage. The player stage is when you have a man who is coming out of the dog stage. He's ran the trains. He's experienced, the one night stands. He's had sex with supermodels or women who could pass for supermodels. He's done all that, having the bachelor pad and bringing women, home there every night and doing all that freaky stuff. We've done that. We've had our fun. But the player stage is when we're open to the idea of having a girlfriend. See, dogs, they're not even open to the idea of girlfriends. They are about one thing only. But players, that's where they'll have a girlfriend, but they still will want to have their fun on the side. They'll still want to have their cake and eat it too. So it's important to recognize a dog as well as a player. And I'm about to tell you how to differentiate a player or a dog from a man who is actually truly ready to settle down. But now, I mean, just to kind of finish up the player stage is very tricky because these guys have girlfriends. They are willing to bring you home to mom, but they are still out there cheating on you. So you have to know, and these men in the player stage, a lot of times will string women along because they're still having their sex with their jump offs and all that. They will never talk about marriage. All right. Only a man in the ready to settle down stage will ever talk about marriage. If you're with a guy and you've been with him, you've been having sex with him for 3, 4 months, or you've been in a relationship with him for a year, 2 years, he's never mentioned it. Guess what, ladies? He's cheating on you. He's not ready to settle down. He's in the player stage. No man in the ready to settle down stage will ever string anybody along. If you're getting strung along, he's cheating on you. He's not ready to settle down. Period. Leave and don't make a couple months or a couple years turn into a 5-year bid, if you will. So that's the player stage. Now, the ready to settle down stage, guys, is the last stage that most men go through. Now, usually it happens later in life after he's going through the dog stage, the player stage, and usually that guy is usually 28, 29, 30. He's done the dog stage. He's did the whole player thing. He's gotten it out of his system. He's ready to settle down with a good woman. Excuse me. Now it's very important to understand, ladies. These men out here in the ready to settle down stage are looking for wives. That's what I talked about in my blog about why so many black women are single. A lot of women, they forget about that. They think they just focus on the men that aren't out here. But you have to realize there are millions of men in this country, black men, specifically out here looking for good women to share their success with. If he's not picking you, there's something you've done or are doing that has taken you out of him looking at you in that wifey category. So understand, ladies, these men and how to spot a man who's ready to settle down. He's not wasting time. These men don't string women on. They don't make you their girlfriend for years. They don't just have sex with you indefinitely with no commitment. These men are ready. They say, all right, look, if we're doing this, we're going to do it. I want you to be my girl. Go ahead and change your Facebook status to say in a relationship with. They're not trying to waste their time because they have a plan. They're ambitious. They're motivated. You know what I'm saying? So don't mistake a dog or a player for a man in the ready to settle down stage. And don't think just because you've only met men in the dog stage, you've only met the quote unquote players. Don't think that there are no men out here who are in the ready to settle down stage, because they do exist. Now, I'll admit they are few and far between, but they're out here. So that's a short synopsis of the 3 stages that all men go through: the dog stage, the player stage, and the ready to settle down stage. For more information on those, and we talk about these issues 5 nights a week on the Dedan Tolbert Show. You can catch me weeknights at 9 by logging on to dedansplace.net, or you can call in to listen at 646-200-0366. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, add me on Facebook, join the fan page, follow me everywhere. For a listing of all my video blogs, you can go to youtube.com/AskDedan or go directly to AskDedan.net. Thank you. Hopefully I've shed light on these issues for you, and I'll see you later. Peace.